Hi, my name is Sharon bin Malodol alias Jamilon. My matrix number is 145801. I am from Pure Physics.
Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. My name is Muhammad Nazrin bin Noyakin with matric number 149170. I am first year student with the physics program from School of Physics.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Amin bin Mazian, first year from Pure Physics course. Well, today I'm going to talk about RFID. So, what is RFID? RFID stands for Radio Frequency Identification. It is a wireless technology that uses electromagnetic frequencies to uniquely identify or track an object, person, or even an animal. RFID is comparable to barcode technology, but there are key differences. RFID tag does not require direct line of sight, it can be updated in real time, and require power supply. RFID systems are most commonly used for livestock tracking, inventory management, supply chain logistics, and vehicle tracking. They are prevalent in industries such as healthcare, manufacturing, business, and even home. RFID are also what makes contactless payment or tap to pay to be possible. Tapping a smartphone or RFID-enabled credit card against a payment terminal instead of swiping. Sometimes, this system use NFC or near-field communication that allow the transfer of data. It is actually a subset of RFID, but is still considered as RFID system. So, what is inside of this RFID system? RFID systems are made up of two components, that is RFID reader and the RFID tag. This RFID tag can come in three types, which is active tag, passive tag, and semi-passive tag. Passive tag do not require power supply to operate, thus it requires radio wave from the RFID reader for the source of energy. While in case of semi-passive tag, it have their own power supply, but for transmitting the feedback signal back to the RFID reader, it rely on the signal from the RFID reader. While for active tag, they use their own power supply to send the signal back to the reader. These RFID readers come in many sizes and shapes such as handheld, or it could be as large as the door such as the one that you usually saw in the mall. The RFID reader consists of three main components, which is radio frequency signal generator, microcontroller, and receiver or signal detector. The radio frequency signal generator sends a radio wave to transmit through the antenna while the receiver receives the feedback from the tag. The feedback will be processed by the microcontroller to extract the information which is being sent by the tag. Now, let us see about the RFID tags. The most common and widely used tags today are the passive tags. It does not require any power supply and are more compact. It could be the size of keychain, credit card, or it could be in the form of a label. The first component of the RFID tag are transponder, which receive the radio wave from the reader and transmit the feedback back to the reader. As the passive tag do not have their own power supply, thus they heavily rely on the radio wave. Then the rectifier circuit will store the energy from the radio wave across the capacitor, and then the energy is used as a supply for the controller as well as the memory element inside the RFID tag. But how does this RFID system work? Well, to know how this system works, we first need to know the frequency of operation for the RFID system. The frequency of operation consists of three, which is low frequency, high frequency, and ultra high frequency. For low and high frequency, we use inductive coupling or near field coupling. When the tag and the reader is close enough to detect the radio frequency, the field generated by the RFID reader will be coupled to the antenna of the RFID tag. Then the voltage will be induced across the coil of the RFID tag, or we call it as load. Some voltage will rectify and use as power supply for the controller. As RFID readers send radio wave from particular frequency, that is induced voltage across coil in particular frequency, the induced voltage will also be used to derive the synchronization clock for the controller. When connected load of coil, the current will flow through this load, and the switch on and off load will produce voltage called load modulation. When we switch on and off this load, according to the data that is stored inside the RFID tag, then the data can be read by the RFID reader in the form of voltage. While in the case of ultra high frequency, it uses electromagnetic coupling. as the distance between the reader and the tag can be a few meters apart. The coupling between them will be far-field coupling. This RFID reader continuously sending radio wave of a particular frequency towards the tag, and in response, this tag is sending a weak signal to the RFID reader. Now this weak signal, which is being sent back to the RFID reader, is known as the backscattered signal, and the intensity of this backscattered signal depends upon the load matching across the coil. So if the load is matched exactly, then the intensity of backscattered signal will be more. But if the load is not matched exactly, then the intensity of the backscattered signal will be less. So in this way, by changing the condition of a load, we can change the intensity of the backscattered signal. And if you can change the condition of a load according to the data that's being stored across this RFID tag, then the data can be sent back to the RFID reader. So in this way, RFID reader is able to sense that data.
And here are some advantages and disadvantages of the RFID system. RFID can support tag reading with no line of sight or item-by-item scanning. It is also able to read multiple RFID tags simultaneously, offering increase in efficiency, and the assets can be cross-referenced against assigned location and recorded as present, missing, or relocated. While the disadvantages of RFID includes materials like liquid and metal can impact the signal, implementation can be difficult and time-consuming, and the cost of tags and the new infrastructure.
Well, I hope my explanation enlightened you all and helped you to understand what exactly is RFID and how the system works. That's all from me. Thank you and stay safe.